it's as if the state believes if they just show a tremendous number, and I guess we have close to 200 acts, if they just show a tremendous number of different acts, that's sufficient. And it simply is not sufficient. They can try to argue interrelatedness, and I am sure that they will, but they haven't demonstrated that for the jury, such that a rational trier of fact could find the interrelatedness that's required for those predicate acts. Regarding count 2, the murder of Donovan Thomas, again, it's been a year. I could be leaving things out, but from when I have looked over the evidence that's been presented in this court, what I have seen them present, the state present, is Mr. Kendrick at a Texaco station inside of a Pontiac. And inside of the Texaco station, this Texaco station is a block from the location of the murder of Mr. Thomas. And they show Mr. Kendrick in and out of the Pontiac. They show him in a conversation with someone that may be in an Infiniti. But when Mr. Kendrick leaves the gas station, he's in a Pontiac. There's been no testimony at all, nothing, no video, no evidence that Mr. Kendrick somehow moves from the Pontiac into the Infiniti. And the Infiniti is what is alleged to have done the drive-by shooting of Donovan Thomas. There's been testimony from the state's own witnesses. I believe they presented an Infiniti identification expert that was able to identify the car that goes by as an Infiniti. It is not a Pontiac. Mr. Kendrick is not in anything other than a Pontiac. What else is the state presented? They have interviews that various individuals gave with law enforcement. I believe they have interviews that they presented in the form of video of Kenneth Copeland on June the 10th, 2015, speaking with law enforcement. They have interviewed, they have the plea agreement from Mr. Sledge. And by the way, that plea agreement from Mr. Sledge does not identify Mr. Kendrick specifically. And they also have Mr. Zachary's interview with Detective Thorpe. But in the case with each of those witnesses, when they've gotten on the stand, and the Sledge one is less important, I'm not going to focus on that. But Mr. Copeland, and Your Honor saw this, repeatedly told the jury that he lied to the police. He said anything he needed to say to avoid putting on that blue jumpsuit that Mr. Sharp so desperately wants to bring into the court and show to the jury. He would finesse the police. He would tell the police what they wanted to hear. He would sprinkle grains of truth into his stories to lend them credibility with the police officers. But when he took the stand, he completely renounced everything that he said previously. Mr. Sledge, as you well know, also renounced much of what was in his plea agreement, although, again, that plea agreement does not focus or even, I believe, mention Mr. Kendrick. And then again, Mr. Zachary renounces what he says on the stand. So I think